Then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again. And
that was something, right?
That was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to see
doesn't
that.
work.
I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
again, like I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, peasants and casuals and everything I can think of. Welcome to BattlefieldOne Podcast, the best Battlefield-related podcast on the planet. As you guessed it, we talk about Battlefield and only Battlefield. My name is Tom, also known as the Lanky Soldier. I am being joined by Ray Edmunds.
Hello, sorry, I had a mouthful of water there for a moment. It's quite hot here in this part of the country, so I'm quite parched, if you will. Sorry. How is everyone doing this day?
Yeah, great intro. I don't know what to tell. Yeah. Thank you for joining on this podcast, boy. I don't know what to tell you. And this is our 50th episode. Ray, can you believe it? We did 50 episodes of this.
Yay! 50 whole episodes. It feels like yesterday we didn't know what the fuck we were doing at all.
Yeah, pretty much. So today we're gonna talk about Battlefield 6, of course, but majority we're gonna talk about some stuff that came out from Battlefield Labs yesterday from the playtest, because none of us played the playtest, none of us are in the playtest, so like everything I see online, and it's fair game. You know, it's not my fault that people leak, you know.
If you don't want me to talk about it, put me under contract so I can't talk about it.
Exactly.
That's how this works.
Give us the playtest, then we'll not talk about it.
And I'll shut up.
Yeah, other than that, we're gonna talk about the blog post that Battlefield Studios released about Battlefield 6 and Portal. Like, there was a PC trailer and all that kind of stuff, so we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, I hope you guys gonna enjoy our conversations and everything we have to say. And of course, if you enjoy the show, all that kind of stuff, do check out, you know, our socials in the description. You know, if you want to give us feedback, please go to like a document that is linked in the description. And if you want to support us, check, you know, learn more about us and everything, go BattlefieldOne.net, you know, our dedicated website for this podcast. Learn everything about us. You know, listen to all the episodes, support us financially, get exclusive content, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, read the news about Battlefield, that's what's happening, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and hope you guys enjoy the conversations. Not happy with that intro, but you know what? I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, we're never happy with any of our
Yeah.
Let's just get it right. 50 episodes in, and we still don't know how to do that.
You know what? Yeah,
how to open and close this thing properly.
Yeah. 50
we
episodes.
don't care.
Yeah, 50 episodes in, you think would nail the intros by now, but it's just
Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Ray, 50 episodes. I mean, that's an achievement.
Pops the champagne. Let's all get drunk and party. Yeah, no.
You know what? I heard an interesting fact that podcasts that did over 10 episodes exist for more than 10 episodes. They are probably in the top 10% or top 5% of podcasts out there, because a lot of podcasts like start, you know, oh, we're gonna do a podcast and so on, and they don't go beyond 10 episodes and they just never come back. We're at 50 now. Technically, this is our 91st episode, actually, if we're gonna include the older episodes from the 2014, 15, 16 era, you know. So, yeah, 50 episodes, that's... Thank you guys for listening to us, and I can tell right now, guys, this is the best month we ever had in terms of listeners and everything. We're getting Patreon supporters, we're getting listeners, we're getting comments, we're getting feedback, all that kind of stuff. Like, this is the best time to host a podcast, honestly, because people are just like, you know what?
It took damn near 100 episodes to get there.
Yeah, so...
See, kids, perseverance is the key.
Oh, if you just force it, you'll get there, right? Oh, God. But yeah, thank you guys for listening and everything. Like, I appreciate all the, you know, support and everything you guys do for us, you know, checking the website out, supporting us on Patreon, all that kind of stuff. I'll thank you so much. Like, I can't thank you guys enough. So I hope you're gonna enjoy our future conversations and everything, and hopefully, hey, let's go. Like, I'm not really a guy that like celebrates milestones. I never like type of guy that like, oh, let's do something for 50th episode. I have no idea. Like I never.
The only thing I really want to like throw a major party over is like 100,000 subs, or and like. I will throw a 24-hour streaming party myself personally. I'll figure out how to fucking do it. I don't care. If we were ever to hit 100,000 Patreon subs, oh hell yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what, even 1,000.
Not
1,000.
Okay, not Patreon subs.
We'll do.
Just YouTube alone, 100K subscribers will be great. It will be great.
Not that it really means that much anymore these days, but still 100K subs.
Yeah, my primary YouTube channel has 10K subs, so 100K would be nice, all that kind of stuff. But hey, thank you guys for just enjoying our ramblings, and I'm looking forward to the future because hey, Battlefield 6 is coming out in what? Ray, I just realized something. In 4 or 5 episodes, we're gonna play Battlefield 6.
It's gonna be just like the old days. We're gonna have gameplay footage to put in the background of this shit then too. It's gonna be great.
Well, technically I can use the beta footage, but yeah.
It's not the same. It's not us playing. That's the
yeah. I did.
Anywho.
Yeah. I'm actually not gonna mention that. It's not important. But anyway,
speaking of playing Battlefield, you poor fucking sap throwing your soul through a meat grinder in 2042 for a goddamn Chinese skin. I mean, I salute you, you lunatic, but I don't hate myself that much.
Yeah, I just want to say it. So the Battlefield 2042 grind continues, and for anyone that doesn't know, if you're new, welcome. Basically, what Battlefield 2042 is doing is they have a free battle pass right now, and that free battle pass has 60 tiers, and there's originally there was 6 rewards that you can unlock for Battlefield. Like if you unlock them in 2042, this free battle pass, you can use them in Battlefield 6. Like cool, okay, so let me finish the battle pass and everything's cool and so on. But then you realize it's fucking grindy. The game is not fun and whatsoever. And speaking of Battlefield 2022, so if you're listening to this on public episode, not on Patreon, we just recently did a Patreon episode about 2042 retrospective, basically. Me and Ray were just talked for an hour about this game, just going through everything that happened with this game, through the history, all that kind of stuff, and we had a lot of things to say about that game, but we realized, hey,
it wasn't nothing but bashing on it either.
Yeah. We were. I think we
there
were.
There were praises given where praises were due, and accolades were accolades. So let's just not. I don't want anybody out there to be like, oh my god, they fucking just trashed the game for an hour. Like, not exactly. Let's say it was like I don't know, 55% talking about the negative part of it and 45% talking about the positive. So it wasn't exactly a 50-50 balance, but it was close enough. Anyway, continue on.
Anyway, yeah, so Battlefield 2042 grind continues. So, in the recent blog post, which we're going to talk about in a moment, they just basically said, oh yeah, so if you're going to continue playing the game, there's actually more rewards than 6, like 2 skins and a couple of blueprints, weapon packages, whatever, skins for the guns, whatever, right? So there's more. So apparently there's like player cards, title cards, icons or something like that. They mentioned at what tier you unlock them, but they haven't showed how they look in the game. I'm like, okay, cool, kind of weird, but sure, thank you for letting me know that I'm actually unlocking more than just a couple of skins for the guns. I'm actually unlocking much more, which are again based on previous Battlefield games. So there's like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, like those kind of rewards, right? And that's cool. I like rewards like that.
I just had the brain cell fire up and been like, you know what would have been fucking cool? Because Battlelog is still tracking your stats, okay? So clearly there are servers for Battlelog that are still running. And there's still stat tracking for Battlefield 1, stat tracking for Battlefield 5. There's still XP tracking going on. Okay, everybody listening.
I know where you're going with this.
How fucking cool would it have been if they would have been like, instead of it just being a battle pass for 2042, how about you just gain XP in any Battlefield game, going back to Battlefield 3.
Okay, now
do you really? Does anybody? Can anybody fucking tell me why this wouldn't have been done? Like, I don't like. It's so what? Okay, so what? People would have started servers up to just be able to AFK farm. Motherfucker, they're doing it in 2042, and people and they don't care. They don't give a fuck.
When you mention stats, you know what would be cool? When you launch Battlefield 6, you get like some sort of reward. A player card, a watch on your character, or something, right? That tells you how long or how many things you did in that particular game. Oh, you got 10,000 kills in Battlefield 4, or you killed, I don't know, 5,000 tanks in Battlefield 3 or something like that, right? And you had that little stat that you can showcase somewhere in the game for Battlefield 6 that tells you that you...
Oh my god, yeah!
Because Call of Duty did that. When Verdansk came back in Warzone 5 months ago, veteran players that played the OG Warzone, they got a watch and some couple of skins, but that watch basically tracks your wins and everything. But the catch is, it doesn't track your current new wins. Those numbers, those wins you got on that watch that you can like see it on your gun, is from the OG. So that means all the stats that you tracked from 3 years ago, you can continue doing them in the new game. And like, that's fucking cool. Can Battlefield do that? That would be so fantastic. But anyway, I'm going off topic here. Anyway, the grind continues. 2042. God, I hate that game. God, I hate that game. Really forcing myself to fucking finish this battle pass. Especially when they announced that they're gonna be more rewards and everything. Oh, I mean, okay, I know some people thinking, well, why are you playing for skins? Who gives a shit? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But something about just like, nah, I want to earn that, right? Because you're not gonna get them ever again. So it's like that FOMO, right? I guess. Like, it's just like, I do kind of want that Chinese.
It's kicking you in the ass so hard you can overlook the scaling XP. Because, like, I said it in the Patreon episode, and I'm going to say it here as well. It's just that alone right there. It's not that I can't grit my teeth and play 2042, but for every reward I get, the goalpost moves further down the line. I can't do that shit. And I've played games that do that shit all the time, and it's not worth it in this context to me. Yeah, I mean, surely this will be a you'll never get ever again skins type thing. I somehow doubt that. I feel like 6 months down the line, they're gonna throw a Road to Battlefield pack out, especially when like an anniversary hits or something, and it'll just be a one-time thing. You have this chance in order to buy it. So I'm not overly worried about missing out on something that I potentially could never get. And even still,
because something cool is gonna come out later anyway.
Right. There's gonna be its unique stuff, and at the same time, like, skins really don't fucking resonate with me all that much, but they do. They only resonate with me if I can actually like customize them and tailor them to my liking.
Which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into that.
There's an update
when the time
about that.
comes.
Yeah, there's an update about that.
For my liking right now, the way it is, I'm just like, whatever. I'm good. I would as long as they're not giving away like weapons or anything that you're not gonna get anywhere else, I don't really care.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's not worth it to me in order to sing. I salute you, my good sir.
No,
you
Ray,
brave bastard. I won't do it, though.
This is what you have to play with. This is where real men are made. They play Battlefield 2042 until tier 60 to unlock that fucking skin. This is where real men are born. Okay. God, I hate that game so much.
You go right on ahead and keep lying to yourself. But real men know when some things are not worth their fucking time.
Oh, Ray, if only you knew how wet my wife is every time she sees me play Battlefield 2042. It's like, oh man, this man is so fucking hot and sexy. He's working
Are you
so...
sure that's not drool from her being passed out watching that boring as fuck goddamn game?
She's like, looks at me, damn, that's a hot husband I have playing 2042 for the skins.
Oh my god. Nah, son. Nah.
Do you know how much pussy I'm getting?
They would have to put one hell of a golden carrot on a stick in order to grind that game out that much. I legit don't care. I think as a grand total, like, this is the thing. Even since they put that pass out, I got more playtime hours in the Battlefield 6 beta than I do 2042. I just can't with that game. I can't put myself through it. I would rather play Grand Theft Auto Online in solo sessions like I'd been for a hot minute. That at least that's an attainable stick. And there's ways to do it and cheese it, but like I can't do it with 2042. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, it's yeah. At this point, Battlefield is my pussy. Quoting the our Lord and Savior, Hunter Connell.
Colonel 100, yeah.
Yeah, Colonel
of course,
100,
no life
yeah.
bastards.
Yep. Anyway, so also want to give out a shout out to a content creator called Silk. He made a document where people can give feedback about the vehicles and everything, how they like about the jets, the tanks, LEVs, and all that kind of stuff. And I went through the document and everything. I have to just say that I fully agree with everything. Everything that was said in those documents by certain people, like that made that document, it's fantastic. I have to agree. Like, I think it was a previous episode that I talked about the tanks, right? Where I was not happy. I was a dope in beta. I can't remember.
No, it was when we were reviewing the beta because I had made the comment that I didn't see really much wrong with them. They had their quirks and there were things that I didn't like about it, but yeah, 2
episodes ago, and I was not happy with the vehicles and everything that was said in that document is how I feel. Like exactly, like I need to give props to that person who did the feedback about the tanks. Scrub Norman. Okay, so in the document, Scrub Norman. He gave feedback about the tanks and the LEVs and everything, and he said everything right. Like, beeping sound on LEV. There was a beeping sound on LEV, some sort of?
Beeping sound?
Yeah, like at the bottom of the feedback, he says in capital letters, get rid of the beeping sound on the LEV. Yeah, he's right. There was some sort of beeping sound, but I don't know what was it about. Anyway, fully agree with everything that was said in that document, and yeah, I have no complaints. So thank you, Silk, for organizing that document, because that's basically, instead of me making a video for that will take me weeks to make, this document is basically that. Yeah, they're like, yeah, perfect. I love it. So thank you, Silk, for organizing this, and I will actually add my feedback to that document myself later. The hell, neighbors are doing something. I hear rumbling in the background.
I just wish, like, I like the test range that they have for guns. That they had in the beta,
but not for the vehicles, yeah.
But them not having one for vehicles, yeah, it's really fucking upsetting. Like, I'm not asking for like what Battlefield 4 had, which, in my honest opinion, should have been like a fucking staple from that point forward. A test range like that, where you have a firing range, you can test all the pickup weapons, you can test any vehicle, you can get your control set up, and you can do it outside of a match and take your time and learn and try to figure out how to learn how to fly and everything like that, and do it without having to do it in a match. I feel like they really should have just taken that and kept going with it. Battlefield 1 should have done the exact same thing. Put me on a fucking island. Here's all the toys. Figure out how to use them. Battlefield 5 should have done the exact same thing. 2042 should have. There's no excuse for them not to have kept up with that. Like, that test range in Battlefield 4 was the pinnacle. It will always be the best. They need to do that. They need to do something similar with 6. Like, I don't give a shit if they just put a door on the firing range in the test range in 6, and you go to that door, and you just teleport in, or you just go to the door, and then a spawn map comes up, and you have a list of all the vehicles, and you click the vehicle, and all you are is just in the middle of an endless plain. That's it. I just want to be able to with like some range markers or some shit down the line, so that you can get a feel for the guns, you can get a feel for the views, you can get a feel for piloting, you can get a feel for how the weapons in these vehicles behave, so that when I when I have the opportunity in order to play vehicle, I can be a more effective vehicle player. Because I don't have that much of a problem with vehicles in 6. I didn't even know that Silk wrote this document, you asshole. You never even told me about it. I could have looked at this and talked about this.
Yeah,
but no.
I forgot to mention to you also, like,
Dick.
I'll link it later.
But that being said, like, I still have some feedback that I want to throw into it as well. I mean, especially when it comes to myself, who's like a 50-50 infantry player too, because I play my fair share of infantry. Like, there are things that I feel as an infantry player that should be able to be done that would make life easier for vehicles as well. That being said, fucking get on that shit, guys. Test range, good test range, like Battlefield 4's. Do it, please.
Also, apologies if you hear a cat licking literally in front of the mic. He's literally in front of my screen, licking himself. So, yeah.
Your desk is now a bath.
Yeah, sadly. Anyway, moving on. Now I'm looking at it. Wait, let me see. Okay, we covered the bases there. Okay, anyway, main topics. So let's cover some Battlefield Labs announcement and leaks. So, Battlefield 6 trailer for PC, like PC trailer, whatever, dropped. And it just basically showcased, like, hey, here's all the options with the PC, how the game looks and all that kind of stuff. Design for PC. Javelin anti-cheat. It's called Javelin anti-cheat. Like, cool, okay. Then they released a blog post with, talking about PC specs, minimal, maximum, like what's the maximum, ultra, and all that kind of stuff. What kind of hardware you need to run this game on a decent level, And then, of course, like, they,
So,
again... What?
600 plus customization options. And we can't have a goddamn free-floating camera?
We'll talk about that. Also, they need to add a search option for the options for the settings, because
Yes, dear God, for 600
COD
plus
has it.
fucking settings? I need to know... God, I need to be able to find that shit.
Yeah, COD has it, so because they have the similar advanced settings and everything. Like, okay, we need a search bar because I'm not gonna go through everything just to, like, it is gonna, yeah. Of course,
I would spend an hour just scrolling through the fucking menu. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's what I did on fucking beta. It was annoying. Anyway, so, okay, anti-cheat, okay, blah, 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 fuck cheaters, that's what I'm gonna say. Ultra-wide motorsport, whatever, customization options, whatever. Hardware feature support. Oh, okay, so this is a quick, I'm just gonna mention quickly. Developers mentioned that they want to rely on DLSS and AMD FSR to upscale the game, to optimize the game to run a decent frame rate. They actually said, like, listen, we want to make sure the game runs well without these options. And these are just basically extras if you really want to push the game to really, like, big frame rates levels and so on. Like, so I'm glad. This is a completely different story with 2042, for example. That was an optimized mess and everything, and you probably needed DLSS. I know DLSS wasn't a thing back then, but you kind of need that to optimize the fucking game to be stable. It's just to be like on a somewhat playable state. But no, this time around, no. Listen, guys, we want to make sure that the game runs on the hardware, on each hardware you have, on a good level, decent level, that you don't need these third-party options for you to run the game on an optimal level. No, these are just extras, and I love that. Probably the beta run was very smooth, performance-wise. I had no problems, fantastic performance, and great, fantastic, and time goes on, there will be more optimizations, I presume, because, like, hey, we have more data, let's optimize something like that. Like, great. Like, so far, good stuff. Good stuff. I have nothing else to say. So, of course, then they released a blog post about Portal, all that kind of stuff, and we're gonna talk about in a moment. And I want to cover leaks first, some quick leaks, just because. So, there was a playtest yesterday, I think in the China region, Asia region, and of course, there's leaks. So, in the playtest, they playtested two maps. They playtested Firestorm, Operation Firestorm, and a new map called Mirak Valley. Mirak Valley? One of those. And from what I've seen, the layouts and everything of these maps, well, Operation Firestorm, I don't think we have to go that deep with the review. Like, yeah, it's Operation Firestorm. But from what I've seen, people are complaining. They joked about that they're gonna make Operation Firestorm smaller because how the beta maps were. Like, more infantry focus, all that kind of stuff, right? So from what I've seen, the layout of the map is pretty much the same. In terms of size and everything, it's almost the same. But they did close down the bases closer to the flags. So you know how in Operation Firestorm there was like big gap between the bases and the flag, the main.
Yeah, you had a bit
flag?
of a drive, and
They closed it down. They closed. They made it closer.
How much do you want to bet me that in doing that they also closed off the mountains?
Mountains are closed for the Pax Armata side. I don't know which ones. So okay, you remember which one the Russian side is, right?
Yeah, the Russian side, which I think the Russian
So the
side
Americans
is the
had the
north side.
mountain. Americans had the mountain, and the Russians had the.
Yeah, I have it backwards. Yeah, U.S. had the north side of the map, and then the Russians had the south side of the map. Yeah. But the Russians had had the short mountain valley there.
Yeah.
Just before you hit the oil the processing plant.
Yeah, and
But on the American side, it had that huge peak
mountain,
that everybody
yeah.
would fucking camp on. Yeah, I'm trying. That's the one that I'm saying. I guarantee you, those got.
So
fucking
from what I see from the picture, the mountain can only be accessed for the U.S. side.
That's bad. That is bad.
Yeah, it kind of is. I agree.
That is bad.
The map, maybe it plays well. I don't know, but I don't like that. I don't like that.
Maybe it plays well. Maybe it plays well when you're on the U.S. side and you're the only one who can be the bushwookie with the tallest sniping spot ever, with the exception of the middle of the goddamn processing plant. And who the hell's going to want to be up there on that spire of a point?
Yeah.
I mean, no. If they cut that mountain off, the access needs to be revoked for everybody, not just the south the south participants. And here's where the next question I'm going to ask is: if the big mountain pass is cut off, then that would mean that the smaller mountain pass has been cut off, which means those bases are a lot fucking closer than what they really should be, because now you're talking about being able to camp A and fire into base. Bad.
One sec. I will tell you. Actually, you know what? I think they redesigned the. Okay, so you know what the small hill the Russians had, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically unusable because the base is literally in front of it.
Mm-hmm. I've never even fucking seen it. I told you that was what was gonna fuck. I'm good.
Yeah, that's in front of it. The U.S. mountain is only accessible for the U.S. and there's a outbound area for the Russians. And yeah, like they just closed down the bases closer to the flags.
Why?
I don't like it, honestly.
Why?
I don't think I like it. I get the idea, but no.
Firestorm had airstrips too, didn't it? Yeah, Firestorm had airstrips.
And they still do.
Yeah.
They still do.
Why? Why do that? That makes no sense.
Well, there is one clip I saw on Reddit. A classic clip. I remember I saw it 7-8 years ago, if not 10. There was this clip that I linked to in the documents. There was this clip of a guy spawning on a Russian jet, about to take off, and my dude gets sniped in the first 2 seconds before the jet even started to move forward. And there's a guy, a sniper, on the edge of the fucking map, looking directly at the Russian base, waiting for anyone to spawn in that jet so he
I
can fucking shoot.
I remember those days.
Yeah,
Zero.
so
Once you get it dialed in, you could just sit there with a bipod and just send it anybody who spawns in. Yeah, I remember people used to do
clip. I remember when I saw that clip 10 years ago. Fucking loved my ass off. And then I watched it again now, like it's linked under the Firestorm layout map. I'm laughing because like, oh my god, this is why they did. I get it, but it's just so fucking funny. You just spawn in the jet about to take off, and you get fucking sniped, and literally a second later, because some
The problem
guys.
being is you could still do that with fucking helicopters and stuff too if you think about it, because like there's ways people can do that shit. It's always kind of been a problem when you need to take off with aircraft.
But that's a bigger problem here, though. People, I don't know why Battlefield communities really want airstrips. Airstrips always been bad. Always been bad.
Airstrips work fine as long as only the team that they're intended for has eyes on them and has the ability in order to get on them or get near them.
I find that pointless, honestly.
It's an aesthetic. That's all it is. The thing is that I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of my aircraft just appearing out of nowhere in the middle of the fucking air already at altitude and cruising speed. I mean,
I don't mind that. Why every location has to have an airstrip?
It's kind of immersion breaking. I mean, that's really the only good argument there is for it. It's immersion breaking, and everybody.
But you're
loves
fighting in another country,
and I get it. I liked that too.
You're fighting in another country. Like, what? They're gonna be an airstrip just for you, ready to go in Afghanistan? You know.
I mean, we kind of have you kind of have to secure airstrips in warfare. I mean, that's just. That's
basic
tactics, but because you can't have air superiority or any chance of air superiority without a way in order to refuel and fix your aircraft, and you do that at an airstrip.
Well,
but
actually,
anyway,
I was about to mention about the Ukraine war because the reason why Ukraine had a chance because they secured the airport. But anyway,
see.
Yeah.
That being said, I get it. I get the problems that it creates. There's ways to solve the problems, but the problems involve making the map larger, adding obstacles in between where would be base and where the fighting starts, which you now have rules around map building, which takes away a lot of freedoms for map building. So I get why they're not there. I'm not happy about it, but I mean it's a pill I have to eat and I accept. So, and I throw that argument out there, the same argument with helicopters too, because helicopters, aircraft in general, should just, at this point, they should just spawn in the fucking air and be done with it. And you should only be able to spawn in them from the menu. Period. That's where we're at right now, because that's the only way in order to 100% combat it, because you set random spawn points so that no sniper can sit at the back at their in field and be able to point their gun upwards enough to be able to get a shot off. You get rid of that. You now make it so that, okay, the helicopter spawns at this altitude at this point over home base this time. Next time it spawns at this altitude, et cetera, et cetera. Might as well just do it with all aircraft from now on and be done with it, which means no more sprinting to the helicopter at the beginning of the map. You now only sprint to tanks and jeeps at the beginning of the map. That's the end of it. That's the only way you're going to combat that and effectively fix it, which means, again, there's no need for airstrips anymore.
Well, that's Firestorm. We'll see how the map plays. I'm personally not happy that they kind of closed down.
I can't wait to be disappointed.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, a different
but
map.
But I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Different map, Mirak Valley. So from what I've seen from Mirak Valley, from the footage and everything they showed in the blog post, it didn't show the full picture. Like, it showed the whole layout, not the layout. It showed a nice overview of the map in the game. Like, oh, it had an airstrip, has like 3 tanks per team, has some vehicles and everything. Like, okay, so it's a proper Battlefield map. And from what I've seen how it looks visually, it looks like Goldman Railway, but green. Like, it gives me Goldman Railway vibes. It's like, imagine that type of map, right? But it's green. Like, it's in a different location. Like, trees are kind of similar. I won't say even the trees are kind of similar, if not the same trees from Battlefield 4.
Big, vast, open map, and there's like a couple of small spots.
It's not even that open.
Residential buildings littered here and there.
It's not even that open. If you check the document, the layout of the map is basically like it's a triangle looking down, and
that
the
is a trapezoid, sir.
Yeah, and the flags are straight to each other, like from base to base, straight. And the C flag, the 5th flag, is literally at the bottom of the triangle, and it's like, it's a kind of well-looking, well-balanced layout, honestly. And the flags, like the location, so like, yeah, they're not open spaces either. They're like actually somewhat urban. So the construction area in the middle, with a crane that apparently can be destroyed and like has some sort of evolution. The home flags, A and E flags, are like somewhat populated with some buildings and everything. The C flag is everything away from everything, but it's still somewhat, I see, like somewhat populated with something. It's like, and everything around is basically open space between flags and everything. So tanks can actually be effective. You know, vehicles can be effective. They don't have to attack the objective themselves, but they still can do the job well of securing the objective, because like they can flank and everything. It's like, yeah, it looks. I think this map will slap. I think this map will be Battlefield 6 favorite map. I think this will be an amazing map. From what I see so far, this is night and day difference with Liberation Peak. This map looks good. And visual looks amazing too. Like I said, Goldman Railway was just green. Like, yeah. Or someone says like, oh, like something that gives like Ukraine vibes or something. I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't care. But map looks good. It looks good. I like it. I actually like it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much input on it as well.
yeah,
I mean,
but I think it's a well-designed map and a proper Battlefield map. I have no complaints.
I'm presuming A, B, D, and E are more elevated than what C is, or it's the other way around, because one of those two sides of the map has to for it to make sense.
The highest one's probably going to be B and D, the middle ones. I don't think that's elevated.
Which means that anyway.
Anyway, because of buildings, because of the huge skyscraper, that's why.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, what the C had their map design wise, it looks like there's probably some better incentive in order to holding on to C, other than just being like the third point in order to hold to be able to cause bleed. I would think maybe positioning would come into play on that one. That's why I kind of thought like, well, maybe I'm hoping like C is like higher elevated, so that you know what I mean.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next topics, want to do sponsors, Ray?
Sure, hang on there. Surprise! This was not time-stamped. We hope you're enjoying the show so far, but we need to stop for a second and tell you about some important stuff. And now that we have your attention, it's time to tell you all about our amazing Patreon that is helping us keep the show going. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier.
But yeah, episode 47, you paid for this.
I'm sorry.
I'm not, I don't care.
In my defense, I didn't know it was broken or it was going to break upon squeezing it gently. Battlefield 1 podcast was rebooted in March of 2023. We learned a lot of lessons from our previous shows that consisted of 41 episodes, and we've been building amazing foundations for the future with this current show. There's a reason why we're the best Battlefield-related podcast available on Spotify and anywhere else. We've also had the honor of being listened to by DICE, Ripple Effect, and other developers as well. Now, we want to share even more with you through our Patreon.
And I've never seen her. So I will be like crying and yelling, and I will not be the same person I am right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for that kind of emotion. I know we're emotionally close and everything, but I don't think we're that emotionally close.
Yeah, that will be an experience of its own.
We want to thank everyone that has joined as a free member or subscribed to our Patreon in the last year. The support is greatly appreciated, always was, and always will be. It's amazing, and it only motivates us to continue with our Battlefield journey. By simply becoming a free member or even subscribing to any paid tier, you're not only supporting the show, but you're also getting a lot of content back in return.
Right, because Call of Duty gets so annoying sometimes, I actually got so desperate I installed League of Legends again.
Oh my god. The perks of any tier is you'll get ad-free early access to all of our future episodes. You can already listen to the previous episodes ads-free as well, simply by being a free member. There's no more waiting, no more interruptions, just pure unfiltered Battlefield content straight to your ear holes, from our mouth holes, and anywhere else. You know, it's amazing, isn't it?
The only reason why CTE did as well as it did back in the day, guys, is because it wasn't locked down to secrecy. Those that couldn't participate were still able to see what was going on. That's the point that I'm getting at right now.
We're also giving you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making the Battlefield 1 podcast or any other content we produce, from planning sessions to recording mistakes and everything in between. You'll get an insider's perspective on how we bring each episode to life pretty much from start to finish.
And the reason why I'm saying
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
It's all your fault, Ray. How did you ruined the whole show? We need to cancel it again.
Just gotta can it for another 8 months again. Just appear out of nowhere.
We need to cancel it again. Ray, what the fuck did you do?
And that's only Battlefield. We're also offering access to our exclusive Patreon podcast series, Live Gaming Gathering. This is a show where friends and special guests get together and talk about everything from the video game industry to movies and whatever else is on our minds at that particular time. With more than 40 episodes already available, there's hours upon hours of content for you to listen to.
All right, I think we need to move on because we've been kind of on this subject for about the last 15 minutes now.
Yeah.
We got a couple of things. Or,
Are you feeling better now? Let this
Yes,
team off.
I do feel better. Oh no, wait, one more thing. For example, Angela, we were in discussion.
I'm not going to mention any names.
Trust me, these are some of the most fun and amazing conversations we have ever had on the show. Because it's just us being us, relaxed and actually having fun. Almost like you're sitting alongside us with the conversation. Yeah.
So the reaction from the Fortnite community is like, okay, every time we see a Cybertruck in the server, it's our mission to drop everything we're doing and send that player back to the lobby.
We also believe in keeping our patrons informed, so we post monthly recaps to let you know what you probably missed during last month's episode, and we're making sure that you're not missing anything important. Just recently, we opened a brand new Discord server where people can talk to each other and get all of the latest updates about our content or the Lanky Soldier channel. Find the link in the description of this episode or at our Patreon. No subscription needed.
You are, as a
You
player.
have been measured. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been measured.
Because we're confident that you'll love the content we're creating, we're offering a free trial that you can use at any time. We believe we're making good content that will make you stay, and we would not be offering free trials if we didn't think so.
I've seen a lot of people like literally get excited, like, you know what? This looks very familiar, clearly ripped from somewhere, but damn it, that looks good.
So, if you want to support the show and get all of these amazing extras, head on over to patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep delivering the content that you enjoy. Thank you for being part of the Battlefield community, and thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to seeing you on our Patreon. Now, let's get back to the show.
All right. Thank you for the
let's
sponsor
get-
read, Ray.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Support us.
That joke never gets old.
You know, get some exclusive content, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, thank you guys for the support. Anyway, so I just want to mention this, as I found out yesterday. If you capture all 5... Because I don't think this was in the beta. If you capture all flags, you're gonna get a 25-second timer before the game ends. If the enemy players don't capture another flag. What makes you... How do you feel about that?
No. Because I've seen games come back from those. It's not that often that it happens. I mean, it's possible, but statistically speaking, they might see that it doesn't happen that often enough in order to justify finishing the match out. And so if an all cap happens, you're done. Kicked out. I mean, in a way, it kind of makes sense. But at the same time, the only way that would logically work is if the enemy team gets an all cap and then suddenly your base becomes capable. And if you lose that, then yeah, 20-second timer should start. Because then you've lost your spawn point.
They need better rules than that, because I don't think all capturing all the flags and 25 seconds, that's nothing, by the way.
No, that's not enough time in order to react and come
So
back.
if-
It's not
if-
at all.
okay,
it
if
should
we're
be
gonna-
like a minute to 5 minutes
more like
tops.
2 minutes minimum, if you ask me.
Because
Because-
give them a minute before you get a warning, and then maybe another
No, but
minute
here's
or
the
2 minutes.
But here's the thing.
But
all right,
everybody
let's
has
say-
to see that warning.
All right, let's see. All right, let's say you lost all the flags, right? You have 25 seconds to do something from your base. All right, you're gonna
Throw
get in the
bodies at it. Yeah, well,
No,
that's
no,
all
no, no.
anybody's
But
gonna do.
okay, let's say we're playing Mirak Valley, right? We're playing this Mirak Valley map, right? The enemy players have all the flags, right? What are you gonna do in 25 seconds? In those 25 seconds, it will take you to grab a vehicle, and that's if you're lucky enough to go around somehow and reach one of the flags, the C flag or the enemy home flag. It will take you 25 seconds just to get there, let alone capture it, because the capture is gonna take a
Start
while
capping
too.
it. Yeah, you have
like
to start capping it. Yeah.
So 2 minutes has to be bare
That's why I
minimum.
kind of feel like if that's the case, if they're gonna go that far, then let's just go the next step and be done with it. Where if an all cap happens, then fine. Now the base is up for cap, and if the base gets captured, then that's
Ooh.
it. Game over.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea, actually.
That would be I mean, let's bring the goddamned Battlefield Friends joke to life, kids.
It
Let's
becomes
do it.
a breakthrough match. That's a
Yeah.
That's actually like
If an all cap happens in Conquest, then the base becomes capturable, and then if the base becomes captured, that's it. You're done. Game over.
That's
It doesn't
not a
matter.
bad idea.
Does not fucking matter. That would be a great addition to Conquest and Conquest rules.
That's actually
That way,
I love that.
I
love that,
it's not
actually.
necessarily game ending because you still have a place to spawn and fight out of. But now it's become, okay, well, you've lost the map. Now you need to hold on to this. But if you can't kick them out within the tickets, you still lose. You're still getting ticket bleed.
Yeah. I love that idea. Actually, I never even thought about that. Actually, I prefer this over the timer. At least you're doing something. At least some meaningful stuff happening, right? You're playing
It
the
becomes
game.
an incentive in order to actually push back. Because if a fucking timer kicks up and match is going to end in 20 seconds,
Yeah.
dude, ain't nobody going to do shit.
Yeah,
They're going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's
game
nothing.
over.
Let me stop and start random firing in the air.
I love that. That's actually a really genius idea. Holy fuck. Okay. Hey, we need to. Hey, I'm gonna message some developers because that's actually a cool idea. No, that's actually a really cool idea. I actually like that. Anyway, so that's that. So that's our opinions about it. I don't think 25 seconds is enough.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That this would mean a couple of things when it comes to design changes, though, because then that means that the bases would need to have defenses.
Yeah.
Walls, like home spawn bases are now going to have to be seriously thought of when it would come to that mechanic. So, I mean, them trying to do that, it's a neat idea on paper, but there would have to be so much more stuff done to balance that probably would never get used.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah.
I can shoot down my own ideas, motherfuckers.
Okay, update on the customization. So, was it last episode we talked about the customization?
Yes, and the lacking thereof.
Okay, so last episode, I think it was last episode, we talked about the customization, and we would think, because someone leaked it, of course, from China playtests, leaked it that, hey, that you can't customize your skins, or at least in any meaningful way. And I presumed, oh, all the skins we're unlocking right now are basically just legendary skins like in Battlefield 2042, and you can't change them because they're legendary skins. But as time goes on, you're gonna get some basic skins and everything. You can customize like the helmet or whatever the case may be, and so on. So cool. That's why I thought so. That's why I thought.
Psych!
Now.
Psych!
Now.
Psych, motherfucker! Psych!
From what it seems, in this build, which I presume is closer to the final build of the game, in this build, the customization works this way. You select a class, and you select a skin. You cannot change the gender, you cannot change the character, you cannot change anything other than the skin itself, some patches that you can put on your character, and something else. Something really basic that's just like, I don't remember. Anyway, long story short, there's basically no customization whatsoever. This is just skins locked to characters, by the way. To characters. So, a couple of months ago, I don't know, maybe like 4 months ago maybe, there was a leak. Some guy going through the files, and he found, I don't know, like 15 characters with names and a backstory and all that kind of stuff, right? And I was like, why?
What?
What is this for? Why there's characters with names and lore and everything? I'm like, okay, kind of dumb. But maybe you can pick them and then customize them and so on. Like, okay, doesn't sound too bad. No! All the skins and everything are locked to a specific character with a specific gender, with a specific voice. You cannot change how they look, how they sound, whatsoever. So you can only select the skin, the patch on the skin, and that's it.
All right. So I'm going to put this way, and I'm going to put this as nicely as I possibly can for anybody in development who may or may not be listening. And if the person who came up with this idea, the person who came up with this idea, come here. All right. I don't care what you guys call the soldier skins and everything internally. I don't care what your internal names are or anything like that. Unless you establish that shit in a cinema, in a video, in the single-player campaign, which at that point you're doing exactly what we didn't want you to do with Battlefield 2042. Hero shit. Let's get this point let's make this point abundantly clear here and now. This is not a fucking hero shooter game. You want the soldiers and you want the characters that are in multiplayer to have a quote-unquote background. Here's the background. Hi, I'm Boss Cyanide. I'm a content creator. I've been one for up to some odd years. I play with this playstyle. My characters are this way. This is me. I am the soldier that is in the damned game. And that is how everybody in this community looks at it. So by you trying to still force this fucking hero shooter shit down our throats, stop it. Enough. The reason why we want that level of customization is because we want to cater these classes to us, the individual. We are the soldier that is fighting in the multiplayer.
This is not, unless you're going to establish it in cinema and you're going to commit to a storyline and actually put the work into it. Stop this shit. Stop it. Let the communities be the community. Let the community create. All we are asking you for is a sandbox to do it in. You're trying to force stupid rules on us in this sandbox, and we're never going to accept it. Jack Frags is the soldier fighting. He does the way he plays, the way he plays. He fights for flags the way he fights. The Lanky Soldier is the soldier in the damned game. Boss Cyanide is a soldier in the damned game. Danger Cow, Danny on PC. Everybody who puts their fucking screen tag into EA and gives them a name and they play in multiplayer is canonically a soldier in the Battlefield universe. Can we stop trying to force narrative heroes in multiplayer and just let us be them? Let us make them. It makes for a so much more individualized game experience than whatever the hell y'all have tried to do with this customization crap work. It won't.
You know what? I'm actually flabbergasted. Listen, I want to believe, just like with the beta, they'll whip out a fucking build out of their freaking ass, say, this is actual build, the real game, right? Because when we saw footage of Battlefield Labs and everything, and what people told me and everything, like from the playtests, the game looked very unfinished and so on. We played the beta, completely different story from the Labs playtest, completely different story. So I want to believe they will do this again, whip out some sort of build out of their fucking ass, again, do a magic trick, right? Battlefield Studios magic trick, whip out a fucking build for launch day, where customization is actually a thing where you can customize at least the soldier's helmet or something like that, or gloves.
At the bare minimum, all we're
as a
asking
bare
is
minimum.
for what was done in Battlefield 5. That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the bare basic minimum. Let me be able to modify my patch.
I want to
and
believe
modify
that.
my soldier skin. That's it.
But at the moment, there's no customization whatsoever. You can only select the skin that is already locked to a character with a gender and a voice and everything, and the only thing you can customize is a fucking patch. What a fucking weird choice. So now I'm thinking, right, from a developer's point of view, right? I'm thinking about this. Okay, so what's the deal here? Is it because is this they can't do it? Engine limitations? Something else? Like, why? I don't understand. At this moment, a game called World War III that was designed to kill Battlefield. Well, I get the memes. It's a meme. When Battlefield 5 came out, there was a game called World War III. World War III is still, it's kind of dead, but it's still alive and kicking. It still has some sort of player base. Doesn't matter.
It's there.
It's there. My God, the customization in that game, so fucking cool. For the characters, it's so fucking cool. And I was thinking, listen, this game came out 6 years ago. And you want to tell me, to this day, modern Battlefield game, 2025, doesn't have similar level of customization as that indie game? Are you kidding me?
The only excuse that I would think we would ever get for not being able to have such things anymore is, well, we'd have to moderate that stuff.
What do you mean more? You make the content, you pick the skins!
Exactly. You're picking and as far as the emblem editor goes and going, oh my God, well,
there's no emblem editor. There's no emblem editor.
But again, because this is the excuse we got when it came to that shit being removed, is the moderation side of it. I got tired of seeing swastikas and tits and
they were
anime
right on
girls
that point, though.
and fine. Yeah, I will concede to that. That is a fucking problem, but that's what a reporting system is for. That's what you pay community managers for. That's what you have moderators for. That's what those people do.
No, but
they're not just an expense that you just don't want to have anymore.
It's not a problem with the moderation because everything you could customize in Battlefield 5, for example, is made by DICE and not community members. However, yeah, customizable.
Right, then there's absolutely 0% chance that anybody can combine something in order to make a swastika out of uniforms. That's not the point. What I'm saying is it's the degrees of laziness that have kept coming in, and I know it's not
as the idea behind it. Okay,
right. It's not, and I know it's not the fucking developers that are having this problem. I know this is fucking corporate that's pulling this bullshit. because I mean, developers would happily. We know developers, dude. Like, we've talked to them before. It's not that they don't want us to have fun with their product, for fuck's sake. It's not that. It's the people who cut their checks at the end of the day have to be the ones that make the fucking decisions. And for the most part, a lot of the times, they don't care whether we have fun with the product or not. That's just the brass tacks in the end of it. So, but that's why we have to keep doing things like this, and we have to keep putting our feedback in on a lot of stuff like this, because like we have lost so much ground since Battlefield 4. Think about it. Think about how much ground the communities and community leaders and even like how little community managers does EA have anymore. Like, a lot of the ones that I used to know, they're gone, they've quit, or they were laid off. They might have been, probably would never have been able to tell us. Can't send them for that. But still, look how much ground communities have lost gradually over the years. And the excuse has always been, we just don't like moderating it. We lost Battlelog. We didn't like moderating it. It got too toxic. It got too hectic. Well, I mean, moderation wasn't done right in a lot of cases. Probably because you weren't giving them the tools in order to do what they needed to do. You weren't giving them the authorities to do what they needed to do.
I get what you're saying,
but you're gonna get both sides of the coin, unfortunately. But the thing is that is what has always set Battlefield apart as a franchise from Call of Duty. And now we've lost that part of our identity.
I get what you're saying with moderation, but this is not moderation. This is just something else. Like
now it's laziness. Now it's just corporate doesn't want us to have it.
I don't know why it's some weird choice. Like, okay, all right, you can customize each class. Cool, that's fine. But skins like literally static skins logged with gender and voice and everything. You can't customize anything and so on. Like I said, an indie game from 6 years ago has better customization for soldiers than Battlefield 6. Like, in what fucking universe? And speaking of community, let's move to the next topic, just because like I'm gonna talk about this customization thing forever. I don't want to.
Yeah, we'll get stuck on this.
Okay, so because we still have to talk about Portal. And so just a quick mention. So it was officially confirmed by a developer that no Spectator mode and Platoons is not coming back on launch day. There's no plan if it's coming back yet, which is a big red flag to begin with. And and the Portal conversation kind of goes together with this, because I want to mention something about competitive. Actually, I might as well mention now before I forget. So basically, because we have Portal, right? And from what, spoiler alert, from what it seems, Portal is a very powerful tool that will make us create loads of amazing game modes and experiences and so on for the game that will keep the game going for as long as possible. That's fantastic. And competitive scene, like, I know you all laughing and everything, don't want to competitive scene in Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield competitive.
Battlefield competitive has been a thing in Battlefield 2. Guys, chill. Like, it's been a thing. It's been a thing, and it's been very popular, but just...
But it was always an in-house thing, but still, it was always a thing. We will find ways to be competitive.
Doesn't matter. Regardless, I want a competitive Battlefield to be a thing, and Portal is a good thing there to make that competitive Battlefield a reality. Great. You can make the game modes, you can make that everything. Like, this looks like a promising foundation for the future. Good. But boy, when you say no Spectator mode and no Platoons, and you don't know if it's even coming in the first place, like it will come to Battlefield 6, what are we doing? So you have Portal, the most advanced thing ever, like when it comes to making your own game modes and everything. You don't have Spectator mode or Platoons? Like, it's like the perfect combo to make communities promote the game and just invite more people to play Battlefield 6. What are you doing? What do you mean? It's like what? Why? Can't someone explain that to me? Listen, okay, no Spectator mode, some sort of technical limitation. All right, cool. All right, why? All right, cool.
Bullshit. Technical
Platoons!
Limitation.
Doesn't matter. Okay, give me any excuse. Platoons. You don't have to do something expensive, whatever. Just make a clan. Like, let me make a clan and invite people. That's it. I don't need any happy hours. I don't need any double XP. Cool features, of course, but just let me add people into the group and that's it. It's not and give me emblems. Sell me emblems in a battle pass that I can put for the platoon and everything and so on. Sell me emblems or something. I don't care. It's not that sure, developer will come in. Well, it's very difficult to make. I don't care. I'm a consumer.
It's
I
literally
want
what
platoons
we've been begging for. We're begging for it. We are begging in order to have back a part of this game that is the soul of this, essentially, which has always been the communities that spring up around it. I mean, for God's sakes, Neebs has had their own fucking clan tag and their own group for their supporters that they would play with, and it made it easy in order to organize and everything, and it was great for those communities. Like, why fucking neuter this shit from the get-go? Why say we don't even know if it's going to happen? Why? Those are core things. And the reason why this pisses me off the most above and beyond else, above the fact that we can't have groups anymore, above the fact that we can't do fucking community content anymore, above all those fucking facts, that at the end of the day, what pisses me off the fucking most is at the beginning of all this, they kept saying, we're going back to core Battlefield. We're going back to the core. We're going back to what made it great. Well, you completely fucking glossed over what made this damned game series great. It's not just the destruction. It's not just the shooting. It's not just the squad play. It's not just the team play. Do you see where I'm building at? It's the community play. And y'all have completely forgotten that.
Also, I have an update, apparently. So, this is coming from Battlefield Bulletin. So, the Japanese website that interviewed that developer about the game and so on, that website, the article, whatever, has removed the part where in the interview where that developer said that there won't be a spectator mode or platoon system at launch. We're already backtracking because someone read this interview and saw what kind of shitstorm it was. They're like, shit
is
remove
happening
that.
live.
Remove it. We can't. Like, yeah, this is PR again.
Yeah, there was a lot of backlash that fucking came out online the day it happened.
Yeah.
I was among them. I mean, everybody fucking went, are you fucking kidding me? So, that being said, now that this has come out, and again, this is happening live, that gives me a little bit of hope. Now somebody needs to step forward and say, look, that was said in error. We were going to hold on to this until launch day or the week thereof before launch day, but here's the thing that's coming, and we're sorry. We deeply apologize. Handle this shit right. If that's the reason why this got redacted, it needs to be handled properly, and not like the fucking movement bug fix wording bullshit. I'm not having y'all don't be coming out and be like, fixed issue where Japanese interviewer mistakenly took developer's quote out of context. No, I want you guys, David, fucking make a video, bro. Do a 5-minute video real quick, bro.
Okay, but this is clearly marketing now. If that quote was removed from the article and EA asked them to remove it, that means someone at marketing, which props to them, their job is to market the game to have minimal friction with the people, as long as they pay for the game, as long as the money. Yeah. So this is clearly.
I'm hoping
narrative
this was redacted
control
for all the right reasons.
This was redacted.
The wrong reasons.
Yeah, this was redacted for the wrong reasons. Clearly, this is not redacted. Oh, maybe it's coming. No, they removed it because people got mad. It's simple as that, and for good reason.
Bro, let me hope. But what I'm saying is at the very least, right now, it needs to be clarified 100%. At the very least.
Anyway,
that's what needs to happen now. If they stay quiet about it, then I have no choice but to assume that it's still not coming, and my rage still stays. Yeah. I still play that card.
Yeah. So yeah, no spectator mode platoons. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay. So some positives. Battlefield Portal. So they released a blog post or whatever article. Battlefield Studios released an article explaining how Portal will work, how we're gonna test it in Battlefield Lives, and all kind of stuff, and so on. So from what I know, I listened to other podcasts, and I went through the internet, find any information about Portal and so on, how it works and why it does, and so on. I even went to Reddit about the Godot engine and everything, how it works, just to understand how all that stuff. So, from what I understand, you can do everything in Portal through a web browser.
That is wild.
Wild that means it's easily accessible for everyone to launch the browser, and if you know how to use the Godot engine, you can start editing and making game modes or whatever experiences for Battlefield 6. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. Through a browser.
That's crazy.
Moving 3D objects and everything, that's amazing. Now, I know there's limitations with the Godot engine. I did research on that. So apparently, from what I know, in Battlefield 6 Portal, you won't be able to edit the terrain, as far as I know. So the terrain you choose, that terrain you get. Now, of course, if you're a very creative developer or whatever, wannabe developer, you can go around, like, you still can make those custom experiences and don't worry about the terrain. Just make a new terrain, I guess, like with some different hacky ways, right? Like you can. I'm expecting people are gonna remake Operation Metro regardless because it's Operation Metro, right? Or I don't know if you can remove the assets from the map. I think you can, because if it's just the terrain that can't be edited, so like, okay, so does it mean I can remove the buildings and everything and change the stuff on the map? I'm like, cool. But anyway, so everything can be done through a browser. And from what I know, okay, so we have a server browser too. No official servers in the server browser so far, but they are working on the feature where you can actually, like, server browser is a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Advanced, detailed, whatever. It's like it will be easier to find the experience you specifically search for. And apparently there will be the Battlefield Studios approved verified experiences. So if someone makes some sort of experience in Battlefield Portal, Battlefield Studios or whatever, they can go and verify that and say, yeah, this is a good experience for you if you want full XP, right? Like no shits and giggles, whatever. You're gonna play this, you're gonna get full XP with no problems. And then of course, people will come out with some ways how to like make, XP servers, AFK XP servers, all that stuff, like, because it's already happening in 2042. Of course, it's going to be happening in Battlefield 6. That's of course. So it seems like there are going to be some limitations and everything, but so they learn some lessons. That's fine, whatever. And apparently, if you bought the game, the servers will be persistent. If you create your server will be persistent, which is good, fantastic. That's amazing. Like, that means I can keep the server going as long as possible, as long as I want, as long as I bought the game. But that also raises another question. When you say if you bought the game, so that means is Battlefield Portal going to be free for everyone then? And of course, people like also mention like, oh, is Battle Royale coming to Portal? Can we do some changes in the Battle Royale and all that kind of stuff? And from what I've seen, Temporal, the leak has said, yeah, that's probably coming from the files, what the files say, yeah, that's probably coming. You will be able to customize something in Battle Royale, in Portal. So, again, competitive scene and all that kind of stuff, you can make it, compared to Battle Royale.
Here's community tools for you, but when it comes to actually sprouting up communities, fuck you. I mean, yeah, this is a good thing. I'm not completely saying it's a bad thing, but I mean, oh yeah, cool. Persistent servers, which means there's going to be community servers, essentially. Duh. Yeah.
But for some reason...
What the fuck?
For some reason, they don't have the most obvious thing to have, like, spectator mode and communities. Like, okay, so from what I've seen from this Battlefield Portal thing, everything looks good. So far, everything looks good, and you can move I know someone made... I saw, like, when the Battlefield reveal was happening, someone somewhere posted a picture of what certain people made in Portal. Someone made zombies mode in Portal, like actual Call of Duty zombies experience, like you can buy weapons from MCOMs or whatever. Someone made like get high from Modern Warfare 3 mode, like try to reach the highest point and like win the game. I can't find it now, but it was somewhere. But people made some crazy shit. That's
it's
what
pretty
I'm
much a
trying to say.
very open toy box of tools for a sandbox. I mean, that sounds great.
Oh,
Sounds
in the screenshot of the blog post, they showed like a horde mode, like 4 players fighting a horde, like someone in stages and all that kind of stuff. Of course, hardcore mode for people that want some hardcore and everything. Like, okay.
I want to make like a pseudo Space Invaders thing.
Yeah.
Where like one team is where there's like one player who's just randomly picked out in order to be the gunship at the bottom, and then you have the aliens, and then everybody just has to strafe. That's all they can do is left to right strafe. And my dude's got a machine gun, and then after like 5 seconds of everybody having to strafe back and forth, you can't stop. If you stop, you die. And then they keep moving down, and then if the aliens get to the end, then it's game over for the gunship. Yeah, let's do some fucking Space Invader shit. Fuck it,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, apparently you can. That's the thing. You can.
That is wild. That again, this is cool. I mean, this is all
Through
great
a
stuff.
browser.
This
Through
is
a
stuff that
fucking
sounds
browser.
like this sounds like stuff that would be great for community building and communities to fucking thrive in and make their own experiences cater to the things that they would want to do because they all share a common goal like a community does. Could we? I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Okay, but okay.
Does everybody understand my fucking frustration right now? Like this is really fucking frustrating to keep hearing. Like this is great shit, great awesome fucking points, but it's like there's no sense that community building or any sorts of is ever going to fucking exist. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm fucking hanging up on this. I'm sorry. It's just this shit means a lot because like that's the reason why a lot of us are still doing content. We built ourselves up in communities and shit. Like this is not like. This is like looking at a fucking brand. I don't even know how to describe it. It's amazing, but at the same time, it's disappointing.
Well, thing is, like I know you're looking from a content point of view. I personally looking from a competitive point of view. This is like the perfect tool to revive the Battlefield competitive scene, like on a proper level, like it was in OG.
Blacklist guns, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll ban some weapons, we'll change the listen. Just redesign the map to make it look like rebalance the map for 5-on-5 experience, you know, or redesign the tanks to make sense to add in that experience. Remake Battlefield 1 incursions in Battlefield 6. That sounds fantastic.
You know what would be wild? It would create a whole new market of streamers too. Now that I just thought about it, because it would bring a whole new market of streamers up there. Ones who would literally just join games if they allowed open spectator. And just spectate fucking matches because they know the good camera angles, they make good commentary. I mean, it would be like I don't understand why. Why we're getting all of these options and all of these shit, and at the same time, like the two main tools that would be needed to like tie it all together and make it fucking perfect, to make it just perfect, would just be that, and it's missing.
Yeah, it's like, listen, let's say someone remade Battlefield incursions in Battlefield 6. Fantastic. Then we have some teams like want to play scrims and everything, and you can live stream it, you can comment and everything. You have a spectator mode, you go and see what the teams are doing, all that kind of stuff. Like just copy paste Battlefield 1 spectator tools into Battlefield 6. Like I know it's not
even that.
I know it's not like
tools already fucking exist in that game, and I can prove it to you. You can prove it to yourself. Just watch the fucking trailer. If there's third-person camera shots, which there are, guess what? There's spectator mode in that fucking game, at the developer level at least. That's the other reason why it pisses me off so much.
I'm flabbergasted. I don't understand. So, because all these tools you have, just amazing. Like, okay, in the blog post they said, includes spatial editing, map and geo editing, as well as AI scripting to customize the behavior of AI combatants. The Portal Builder tool also supports custom UI scripting for building fully bespoke user interfaces.
So you're basically telling me we could make single-player campaign missions in this shit too?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
We could make our own story-driven campaign missions.
Yep.
In these, like, this is like, oh, we have spent so long learning how to make the best cake dough from scratch, the best cake we could possibly make in our entire world, and man, You hand me that tub of icing that's been in the trash for the last 2 weeks. We'll top that off with this. Like, the cake is great, but like the top, like you're cheaping out and you're skimping out where you shouldn't be.
For
like,
example,
it's
not only that, I just clicked on the screenshot, right, just to see what
Valid
kind of tools they. This is so much more advanced than Battlefield 2042 Portal is, because, for example, I clicked on this screenshot they showed, right? Oh yeah, soldier modifiers, right? Full damage multiplier, can disable prone, can disable health generation, infinite ammo magazines, disable slide, sprint disable, strafe while sprinting. Wait. Strafe while sprinting? Why is that not in the beta? Why is it important? So you want to tell me, for me to make sure that the game is not feeling headphones. You want to tell me, for my game not to feel clunky, sprinting sideways was disabled on purpose?
But look, that kind of plays into the whole thing of what we've always kind of wanted, though. Like, Battlefield 6 as a core game is its own thing. Portal is something completely different. Portal is the community-driven side of it. Then fine.
So gonna be on fucking Portal, please. Oh my god, I make it.
This is the concession that I will sit here and I will make right now. If at the very least, for the love of God, if they're not going to be able to do the soldier customizations and spectator mode and platoons and the rest of that shit that we're asking for very nicely for Battlefield 6, then fine. At fucking least, put it in Portal. Because that right there, you want proof of what we actually want. Fucking make me put my money where my mouth is right now. Put all that community stuff, put the community tools and everything into Portal, and watch that shit become more popular than the core game. Rapidly.
I think it will be, because these options they gave us, you can make your fucking perfect Battlefield, realistically.
Can you imagine how many people would be playing a fucking server if Jack Frags was like, I've made a King of the Hill mode against the hardest AI bots and the hardest settings I could possibly fucking think of. Holy tits. Nothing you guys could do in that studio would be more fucking popular than that, because somebody, for the love of just to have their name said somewhere, they'd play their dick off in order to fucking get that shit. It right there alone, we could do community filming, and we could have AI bots working as just dummies or backgrounds for things that would help us do, community filming and story driven projects and stuff like that. Oh my god. Could you imagine
imagine programming the AI to film it for you?
We could set up not even go to that point. No, I want to leave the filming and everything in human hands. But at that point, I would say, okay, let's say we have a scene where two armies need to fight, and one army has to win this way. We could code the AI in order to fight in that exact way, so that when we need to make our shots, and then okay, they could be NPCs, and you and I are the PCs. Like, we're the main characters. Okay, what we do is what main character is doing. What they're doing is what they're doing. That way, the liability is lesser. You get where I'm getting at with this. That would make doing that type of content so much easier to fucking do. Because back in the day, to do something like that, if you'd be limited by the number of players you could have in the server for one, and you'd also be limited by the number of people you could get organized in order to come in and do that at the same time. The scale of the content we would be able to create that's why this pisses me off. Is there's just so much fucking wasted potential because these two minimal things just don't exist, and there's no word of them existing.
Now, okay, I don't want to be all negative about it and so on, because, okay, listen, okay, it's not coming on launch day. There'll probably some stuff they will have to sort out, because, hey, remember, originally we thought the game is not coming out later this year. Because all the stuff we heard, all the articles coming out.
I know, we've been wrong before.
Yeah, but, listen, all the articles that were coming out, all the shit that we knew about this game, both of us literally thought, this game is not coming out later this year, there's no fucking chance. And there's no fucking chance. And so, listen.
Maybe I'm just being negative so that they'll fucking
this still can be the
again.
truth. No, but that's the thing. That still can be the truth. Yeah, they're pushing the game forward. Yeah, they're pushing to the game. Doesn't mean it's gonna be a horrible launch, but both can be truths, right? Like, that's the thing. They still probably have loads of development problems. Right, they could be
holding off on doing this later because they want to make sure that the core is running perfectly fine.
Yeah, make sure that the game is actually released.
I get that.
The thing is them letting us sit around and stew on speculation. It's not helping them for pre-order sales. It's not going to help them for sales, period. It's not going to help them for people who are holding out and waiting on certain things.
Well,
now, I know there are people who are going to buy it in spite of, but I mean, we're going to wind up getting a hold of it, or we're going to wind up buying it ourselves too anyway in spite of. But still, it's longevity.
You do know the Battlefield 6 it's actually outpacing Call of Duty in pre-orders.
I know. Let's keep that going.
Yeah,
Refunds can still happen between now and then, too. And they don't have to tell us about whether that's happened or not as well. And I know there are people that are spiteful enough in order to recall a fucking pre-order over shit that they don't like hearing between point A and point B. That's why I don't really pre-order. But that being said, I'm not wrong sitting here and saying them letting us speculate on shit is not helping them any. It's not. I would much rather be sitting here and saying, like, okay, well, they came out and they corrected it like 2 days later. Somebody made a tweet and was like, look, that's not the direction that's going on. It's still on the table. That's all we really need to fucking hear for right now. The game's not even out yet. Just tell us it's at least being fucking considered so a lot of us can stop losing our shit over it. Rightfully so. This is the second time they've done this now. The first time it was over movement, and the worst part about it is they didn't even come out and correct that entirely publicly.
When was that? Oh, you mean the Battlefield 6 movement thing that we discussed?
This is the second time something like this has fucking happened. Either communication has been misconstrued and it was never corrected, or it's just not been addressed at all. This is another critical thing that falls in line with community. Be present in the community as well. You're doing fine so far. It's just these missteps. They don't need to snowball. This doesn't need to get worse. It needs to be corrected and show the community that we're here. We're here in ways that Call of Duty never will be for you. Now come here and get a hug and go blow a building up.
The way I see this game development is going, it's literally like big, massive steps, but then fumbling somewhere in between. Like I don't know what kind of analogy I could use. Maybe like, okay, you're making a cake.
It's hard.
Right? You're making a cake looks like everything, the foundation and everything looks so fucking amazing. But as soon as you're putting like decorations on the cake, something looks wrong. Like, oh, it's a bit fucked up here, a bit fucked up here, and so on and so on. Like,
I wasn't
but
paying
the cake
attention
looks
and
great.
the cat got their claw in it real quick. I mean,
yeah,
that.
Stuff like that, right?
It's stuff that shouldn't be happening. That like basic expectations is what it is.
But yeah, like so far, everything about Battlefield Portal. Just the fact that you can do it through a browser. Jesus Christ. Move 3D elements in the game and make anything you want. Basically remake maps in a browser. I mean, granted, it's all limited to to the features and the assets you have in the game. But like Ray, like you said, like I think last episode you said, imagine time is going on, right? New seasons and everything, and they decide to, you know what, let's add some assets from other games, like other Battlefield games. Like, let's say, add some Hardline assets. Let's add some Battlefield 2042 assets, or whatever the case may be. Like, just add assets to Portal for you to use, because I understand that, they don't want to give you full control of everything because, copyright and all that kind of stuff, intellectual property protection. Like, again, that's why it's through a web browser, just to make sure that everything is made with their assets and their assets only. Nothing is being misconstrued or whatever. I get that. But again, that means you can continue adding your own assets for us to use and just expand this to a different level and just keep going until the end of time, right? The potential is insane here. Now, okay, Spectator made Platoons coming on launch. All right, okay, like I said, the development of this game is probably still a shit show, as we thought. It's still probably a shit show. But, so they're just doing their best, making sure that the game actually runs stable on launch day. And after the game is launched, okay, we can start adding Spectator mode, we can start adding Platoons, like we said, the seasons will not last, they will last 3 months each. That's much longer than any live service game out there. So that means every 3 seasons, we're going to have a new season. So in a sense, that gives every 3 months. So that's, yeah, what did I say?
It's like every 3 seasons, we're going to have a season. What?
Oh, sorry, my bad. So every 3 months, we're gonna have a new season, and that's technically kind of, well, plenty. That's much longer to develop stuff and make sure that everything works than comparing to, let's say, Call of Duty or Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite has their own pipelines that they have, they kind of optimized, and I'm guessing Call of Duty is still trying to figure that out. But yeah, okay, so they have some sort of plan. Great. But doesn't mean they can't come in season 1, like the spectator mode or Platoons and everything, like at least basic shit, right?
Right. There's no reason they can't just, like I said, there's no reason that, okay, they can't just be like, all right, well, surprise, guys, because we wanted to keep a lot of this shit close to our chest. The labs build UI has been scaled back to not show you what was else behind the curtain. Same thing with the beta build. We didn't include those things in the UI because we wanted to surprise you with those things on launch day. We didn't want to mention anything about them, but because we care about you guys and we don't want you guys to be pissed off at us eternally. Here you go. Yeah, this is the thing that's happening. They tell us a week before launch. They launched the pseudo battle log so that we could start organizing immediately. Therefore, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it would earn them so much goodwill right there. Like, and that act, I'm telling you right now, if they really want to kind of put an axe in the forehead of Call of Duty, that, oh my boy, not only would that put an axe in Call of Duty's forehead, but it would be like fucking heel kicking it after the fact too. Because that Activision would never fucking do that. Ever.
Like, just existence of Portal and what they're doing with the Portal and everything. This will... Okay, so remember how a couple episodes we talked about that Battlefield 6 doesn't seem like has a plan for the future and everything. They're like, oh, Foundation for Foundation. Or article like, oh, there's going to be an annual Battlefield in 5-6 years. Like, okay. Alright, so, ignoring all that. Ignoring all the internal stuff that we heard and everything. Battlefield 6 and Battlefield Portal will definitely win the goodwill of the community for a couple of years. So if the game comes out, fine. No big bugs, no big crashes, just fine, stable game. It works, you can play it, and then slowly adding content and so on and so on. Listen, people will complain that there's not enough. I already can tell you right now, Battlefield 6 on launch day will not have enough content. I can tell right now, it will not have enough content. It will be pretty bare bones. That's my prediction personally. My prediction is going to be a very bare bones game. That's my prediction. Let's see if I'm right. So, that's fine. But as long as the game is working, no crashes, anything, just stable, and slowly adding stuff to Portal, to the game, just slowly adding community requested stuff, remastered maps like your propaganda, your telemarket, pick any classic map from Battlefield.
Hell, have the community vote on them.
Let community vote on them, yeah. Just then add spectator mode and platoon and everything. Doesn't matter what's the future for Battlefield 6. This will win them goodwill from the community for a couple of years. It buys them time to come up with some future proof for the next title or platform, whatever they're trying to do, right? This will give them a bit more time to get their shit sorted, which is fantastic. I can't believe it, but they bought themselves some time to sort their shits, like the sort their internals and everything, like with all the shit they have. Development problems, that's fine. As long as the game is doing well, we're still getting pre-orders. The game has been selling. Battle Royale comes out 6 months later after the launch. It's beating Call of Duty's ass because Warzone's not doing that great. Like, okay, we have something, and that's fine. It will give them a couple of years to sort anything out, and
right,
that's fine.
But much like a boxing match, just because you got a haymaker or two in doesn't mean you need to let up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
saying you guys, you're doing great. I'm not saying that everything is bad. I'm not. I really don't want to sound like that.
I'm excited for Battlefield 6.
I really am too. In spite thereof, I'm really fucking excited. I have not been this excited for a title in a very fucking long time.
It's been a while, yeah.
But that being said, like, the stumbles that have happened so far are just so, like, facepalm inducing, like, what the fuck are you guys thinking type shit. Fixing a fucking bug and wording a blog post in the most horrible fucking way imaginable, like, you could have solved that in, like, 2 minutes by just saying, posting the video in question and going, see this? This will never happen again. And that's it. That would have been more than enough to get it across to the community. Like, oh, okay, it's not going to be fucking sweaty movement anymore. Like, to that extreme. Yeah. What they did was they made us fucking think that they completely made it. Now you're basically running a walking tank is what they made a lot of people fucking think from the consensus that I saw. Yeah, and I don't think that's what happened. Same exact thing with Platoons and all this other shit. Like, I have hope, but they need to start coming back out and actually engaging with us a little bit more, and like town halls and stuff like that. David does on Twitter, and he does, to his credit, David Serlin does respond where he can.
Oh, God bless that man. He's doing his best.
And I know he's got to run that shit through other people before he can fucking respond as well in some cases. I guarantee it, even him. So I get it. I get that it's got to be sterilized and corporatized and everything else because, God forbid, of liabilities, and you give some lawyer a wet pants day. I get it.
Yeah.
But, man, you're going about it in the shittiest way imaginable, and I know it's not y'all's intention. It just fucking looks shady as fuck is all I'm saying. I don't want to shit on this. I don't want to be I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't. I did not want to be hung up on this whole community shit this entire fucking episode. I didn't want to bang on this fucking drum constantly, but like I feel like if we don't bang on it, we're not going to get it back. We're not going to get anywhere with it. So we've got to keep hammering on them until they fucking come back, until they come out and they tell us either way. And we keep at it when it comes to things. Basic legacy features.
Yep. Well, other than that, I have nothing else to add. Other than that,
yeah, I think we need to run it to an end. We ran a little long in the tooth on this, but I have high hopes for this shit.
I do have high hopes. Yeah, I do have high hopes. There's a reason. This podcast exists for a reason. Like, 50 episodes later, we're still passionate Battlefield fans want the best for the game, but of course it pisses us off when we see something that obvious is not in the game. I'm like,
when we're missing legacy features.
Yeah, legacy features, literally. Thank fuck we have a scoreboard. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm glad they kept that legacy feature. Just like reviving. That's a great legacy feature.
Okay,
Reloading I know. And resupplying, too. Great legacy features. Sprinting, awesome legacy feature. I'm glad a lot of that shit was included as well. I could keep going, but I'm not.
Just as we end the podcast, I literally just remembered something. So on the Patreon episode, we talked about 2042, and I haven't mentioned the scoreboard. Scoreboard in Battlefield 2042 right now, it's actually really good. It's like the best scoreboard we had in any Battlefield game. It is. It's something like I would personally design because it just makes sense. Everything is showcased in the scoreboard. And then you have Battlefield 6 scoreboard. It's just like a basic, how many flags you captured? Okay, what's your kill KD ratio? And that's it. It's like, okay. It's like, yeah, like okay. Battlefield 2042 scoreboard is actually really good and creative, and I love that. But anyway, that's I should have mentioned that on the Patreon, but I want to mention now here because we're talking.
Doodles.
That's all right. Anyway, so Battlefield 6. Thank you guys for being excited with us for the next game and so on. Thank you guys for all the support for this podcast. We have the best month for this podcast right now. 4 episodes done for this month. I can't believe it. And it's becoming a weekly thing now. And we're doing fantastic. Thank you all guys for the support on the Patreon. Patreon.com/TheLankySoldier for extra content, all that kind of stuff. Thank you for checking out the website, BattlefieldOne.net. Thank you for following us on our socials, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and of course, if you want to give us feedback, ask us questions and everything, use a Google Forms document in the description. All that kind of stuff. And yeah. Ray, you have any closing thoughts?
If you want to bitch at Tom about his cat ears, just do it on his
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that being said, thank you guys so much for your support over the years. Thank you guys so much for your support here and now. If anybody's a newcomer, thank you very much for your support and your time as well. We hope it was worth your while. That's pretty much all there is to it. That being said,
shit, you know where to find us on our socials. Tom's already gone over that. You know how to find the Patreon. We went over that at the middle of the hour, or at least I did with you, I think. Did we? Yeah, we did.
We did. Don't worry.
That being said,
I'm making sure.
good night, everybody.
Don't be a douchebag.